Hi everyone, good evening. Good evening everyone. Welcome to guided newspaper class. Give me a message on the chat if you're here. Let me know that you're here. You can put a message on the chat. So let's wait for people to join and then we will start after that. Till then, if you have joined, you can give a message on the chat saying that you're here so that I know that you're here. So today's topic is about hybrid education system. So we will be talking about that today. That is the topic for today, for today's guided newspaper class. I'll just wait for a few more minutes before we get started. Till then, give me a message so that I know that you're here, you have joined. So we will be talking about the education, the hybrid education system today. So in case if you're doing this class for the first time, I am just going to repeat few instructions which are important. So first, I will read the article aloud, which will help you in your guided speaking. You will try to understand the information just by listening to me. Then we will move on to the next part where I will ask you to write down certain words or explain those meanings to you so that you can use these vocabularies for your writing tasks or for your speaking or any other tasks. Also, after that, you will do guided speaking with me where you will repeat the sentences after me, as in where I'm taking a pause, where I'm taking the stresses at the correct time, at the correct tone, and with the correct tone, and obviously the pronunciation is also important. And finally, we will also gather a few opinions. Then you will write down few sentences on the words that you have learned today. So this is the flow that we will be following in today's guided newspaper class. So let's get started then. So right now, just listen to me, take attention to my words and to what I'm reading right now. Try to understand the information. Okay, try to understand what I'm trying to read, whatever it's written in this article. Okay, so let's start then. The hybrid education system, accepting the new form of education system. With various technological innovations, the education system has become an ecosystem that blends traditional methods and modern techniques. Here's how technology is harnessed to reform hybrid schooling. Try to understand what I'm trying to say, what I'm reading. Okay, so let's move ahead. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the shift towards digitalization across sectors and businesses. Educational institutions were nudged towards digitalizing learning programs by the lockdown and restrictions on public movement. As the Indian traditional ecosystem accepted the mammoth task of digitalizing learning, school managements, state administrations, and the government empowered educators, students, and parents to acclimatize to the new normal. Schools and institutions across the private and public sectors successfully responded to the need and created e-learning programs to keep academic schedules going. On the other hand, EdTech platforms seized the opportunity to provide specialized tools to aid learning for students at all levels. This vested educators with the ability to continue knowledge sharing and evolve new learning programs. With various technological innovations, the education system has become an ecosystem that blends traditional methods and modern techniques. Traditionally, school systems provided less flexibility, variety, real life connect, and little scope for independent study. In the wake of the EdTech revolution, technology is harnessed to reform hybrid schooling. What is a hybrid learning model? Imagine a teacher delivering live instructions in the classroom and online. A hybrid learning model includes asynchronous, that is non-live, online learning methods too. Nonetheless, the educator should create a learning plan to guide students through the hybrid course and guide them consistently. Video conferencing, pre-recorded instructions, online discussion forums, etc. are some of the hybrid tools that have helped students grasp content better. Okay. So till now, how much were you able to understand and grasp the information here? Were you able to understand the entire thing? You can just write on the chat box. You can give me a message here. Let me know how much have you understood, and maybe write down the percentage like 60, 70, 80, how much ever you think you have understood. You can write it down. Let me know how much did you understand. Did you understand the meanings of the words? Were you able to grasp all the information? Were you able to understand everything, whatever it's written here? Okay, okay. So let's understand the article. Okay, so here I'm going to read the article again. Okay, and I will explain it to you. So in the meanwhile, you can write down the words that you are not able to understand. What could be the meaning of those words be? So you can maybe look them up later in a dictionary or maybe search them online for the meaning. Okay, it will help you. I will also tell you the meanings as well, but it will also help you to register them better, and it will also help you to improve your vocabulary. Okay, so let me start reading this again, and I will be explaining it to you. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, so the first thing is hybrid education system. Now first, let's understand what is hybrid education system. It is a mix of in-person and online activities. So education system which has a mix of both. Okay, accepting the new form of education system. So before it was just in person, okay, we did not have much online activities, but right now it's the combination of both. With various technological innovations, the education system has become an ecosystem that blends traditional methods and modern techniques. Traditional methods are the ones which have been there for a very long time, that is the in-person activities, in-person teaching method. Modern techniques are how we have online classes, online activities. So it is a combination of both. Here's how technology is harnessed. Harness means basically you're making use of that. Okay, you're trying to produce something. Okay, to reform. Reform means you're trying to make changes to such education systems so that it can improve. Okay, hybrid schooling. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated means it started it started to move very quickly. The shift towards digitalization across sectors and businesses, because of course people cannot go outside. So it started very quickly, where people had to move to digital media. Educational institutions were nudged means pushed towards digitalizing learning programs by the lockdown and restrictions on public movement. Because there was no public movement, there were a lot of restrictions, so they were pushed towards digitalization. As the Indian traditional education system accepted the mammoth task. Okay, mammoth means it's a huge task, it's an enormous task of digitalizing learning. School managements, state administrations, and the government empowered educators, students, and parents to acclimatize. Acclimatize means to, kind of to adjust to the new normal. Okay, you are adjusting yourself to this new situation now. Schools and institutions across the private and public sectors successfully responded to the need and created e-learning programs to keep academic schedules going, which is happening right now as well, because that is the need of the hour. On the other hand, edtech platforms seize the opportunity. Okay, so seized means they are trying to take this opportunity. Okay, to provide specialized tools to aid learning for students at all levels. So they are trying to give specialized tools to students, okay, at all levels, okay, irrespective of which grades they are in or which levels they are studying in. This vested means it is basically to confer or maybe give power to educators. Okay, so this is giving power to educators with the ability to continue knowledge sharing and evolve new learning programs. So this is helping them to evolve new learning programs. Okay. So with various technological innovators, the education system has become an ecosystem that blends traditional methods and modern techniques. So it is a blend of, it's a best of both worlds. So you have your in-person education where the teacher is providing that, as well as you have modern techniques where there are different tools to use in digital media, in e-learning programs. Traditionally, school systems provided less flexibility, variety, real life connect, and little scope for independent study. Okay, where the student now, what they feel that in the wake of edtech revolution, technology is harnessed, okay, is harnessed to reform hybrid schooling. So here it means that before it used to be a little restrictive, okay, where the student, they are not given um, much, I would say, scope for independent study, where they are not doing much research. But because of this, they are doing their research. They are able to connect the concepts with real life situations. So what is a hybrid learning model? Imagine a teacher delivering live instructions in the classroom and online. So this is the entire hybrid learning model. So a hybrid learning model includes asynchronous, that is your non-live, online learning methods too. Nonetheless, the educator should create a learning plan to guide students through the hybrid course and guide them consistently. So it's all about guiding them to the right path. Video conferencing, pre-recorded instructions, online discussion forums, etc. are some of the hybrid tools that have helped students grasp content better. So these are some of the hybrid tools. Moreover, asynchronous activities give the students a platform to develop self-management skills, because they somewhere down the line they have to work independently. They have to work on their own. And again, the same thing, it's written, and facilitate means make it easier for them to do independent learning. For example, students can take a virtual tour of any topic and create a summary of understanding independently. To sum it up, hybrid learning is the systematic blend of synchronous, okay, and asynchronous learning. Synchronous, that is the live, and asynchronous, that is non-live learning. So it is a blend of both. What students get out of it? The most important part of the hybrid learning model is how it impacts students. While online classes are not new, the launch of edtech platforms has familiarized students and parents with the concept. So it was not new, it's not new, but this is because of the launch of edtech platforms. This is what making it everyone gradually grasping this concept. Looking at the bigger picture, adapting a hybrid education system facilitates blended learning, where learners experience traditional classroom activities along with online learning. It also promotes independent learning, through which they get an opportunity and space to present their ideas, understanding, and to explore personal interests. So it's not just what the teacher is saying, it is also about self-discovery. For example, quick online quizzes and grading helps learners to reflect on the feedback given by the instructors and rework them. So they have a lot of time, they have a lot of quizzes to attempt, and based on the feedback, they can work on that. However, learners must learn social skills and interact with their surroundings for development and growth. With a model that emphasizes means focuses on the online aspects, the social simulation, okay, that means the social deception that the social perspective that the traditional learning environment provides, that people feel that traditional learning is better. Okay, that perspective, especially to school goers, is missed. Okay, because it's just online, so they can't be going to schools, they have to be present online. Several studies have indicated that spending more time indoors and greater screen time affects self growth and leads to psychosocial problems, including cyberbullying and internet addiction. Because now they have online classes, so they are not going outside and exploring the environment, the surroundings. So it is just them and their digital medium. So it is leading to cyberbullying and internet addiction. They are getting addicted to it. Okay, so now tell me, were you able to understand? Was this better? Was this easy to understand now? You can write it down on the chat box. Write down on the chat box so that I know that you're able to grasp the information here. So I hope that you have noted down these words, because very good words. There are a lot of good words over here. You have simulation, you have um, over here, yes, synchronous, asynchronous. Then you also have a few other words which are really good, which you can use for your further work. Okay, harnessed, reform. So I hope you have noted all of these words, and it will, if you use such good words, it will help you to obviously to score a notch higher. So now let's move forward. So now I'm going to read the article very slowly. Okay, and you can also repeat this after me with the pauses and the stresses at the right time. Now this is very important, since it will be beneficial for your speaking task, especially the pronunciation, the voice modulation, and also the tone. Okay, so this will be very helpful. So let's get started with this. Okay, so I'm going to read this very slowly and try to repeat after me. Okay, okay, so let's start. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the shift towards digitalization across sectors and businesses. Okay, after every full stop, every comma, you have to take a pause, maybe count few seconds in your head. And also when there is a full stop, then your tone will also change. Okay, let's continue. Educational institutions were nudged towards digitalizing learning programs by the lockdown and restrictions on public movement. as the Indian traditional education system accepted the mammoth task of digitalizing learning, school managements, state administrations, and the government empowered educators, students, and parents to acclimatize to the new normal. Schools and institutions across the private, and public sectors successfully responded to the need and created e-learning programs to keep academic schedules going. On the other hand, edtech platforms seized the opportunity to provide specialized tools to aid learning for students at all levels. This vested educators with the ability To continue knowledge sharing and evolve new learning programs. Okay, so were you able to do it the same way as I did? Were you able to take the correct pauses, the right stresses, the pronunciation, which is very important? You can write it down on the chat. Let me know if you read it the same way. I hope others also did the same way as well. So you can also do this at home. You can try to read different articles, different newspapers, try to pause at the correct time, at the right time, and also look into your pronunciation and in your tone. Okay, so that is very important when you're reading something. That will also help you in your speaking task as well. So I hope that you did it the same way with the correct pauses and with the right voice modulation and the tone. Okay, so now we are going to move forward. Okay, so you are going to post few sentences on the chat box. And so whenever you are trying to frame these sentences, try to use the words that you have learned today from this article. There are very good words. You can use them while framing the sentences. Now the question here is that, do you think online classes have more advantages than the in-person ones? Do you feel that nowadays students have online classes? Do you feel that has more advantages than the time when they used to go to schools and learn? What is your opinion? So let's say if you are saying yes, then that online classes have more advantages. Maybe you can talk about how students can explore more classes. They can explore themselves, self-discover themselves, and they can also do their research if given a topic. So you can talk about those, just the ones that we have discussed right now. If you are saying that no, in-person classes are better, then you can talk about how it is easier to keep track of the students' attention and progress in class, since you can literally see the body language and try to understand if they're able to grasp the information or not. So you can write down what is your opinion on the statement that online classes have more advantages than in-person ones. What do you think? Do you think that online classes are better, or do you think in-person classes or going to schools, those are better? So don't feel hesitant. Go ahead, write down your sentences. Try to use the words that we have learned today. So that will obviously uh, uh, boost your vocabulary, and also it will help you to learn the vocabularies as well. So go on, write down the sentences. So you can keep on posting your sentences, and you can always practice this. You can do it with yourself. You can try to do it by using different articles. Okay, read them, try to understand, grasp the information, and also try to understand the meanings of the words and maybe list them down so that you can later you can search the meaning and you can register them in your head and you can use them later in your tasks. So keep posting your sentences. Go on, go ahead, write down the sentences and tell me your opinion. What do you think? That online classes have more advantages than in person ones? What are your opinions? Write them down. Till then, have a nice day and I'll see you again. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.